o'clock for the Bellingham Select Board meeting for August 11th, 2025. If you can, I ask you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So before we get started, I just need to recognize something. It's all too well known that we are losing our great leader. This is his last select board meeting. So I want to recognize Dennis Frame for 37 years.
Well, you got rid of me a couple of years ago, but I keep coming back.
Dennis, you can keep on coming back all you want.
It's been a pleasure. It seems like yesterday I started and I enjoyed it all. So much thanks to people like you working close by, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's worth noting.
Thank you.
So thank you. Now we're gonna have Pastor Barrett and Mr. Hemway up for the citizens input.
And Pastor Carey.
Okay. You guys have 5 minutes to do the presentation.
Thank you.
Kenny, you having a seat up here with them?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Thanks. Ken.
Thank you. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
And with that,
How are you, pastors?
Doing good. Well, we just coming to the selectmen meeting, just to invite each and every one of you out to the upcoming Harvest Fest that we're gonna be having on September 20th. And that'll be at the Bellingham Commons. And the big thing about the Harvest Fest is all proceeds are gonna be going to all the different food pantries in the area, St. Blaise, Franklin. So any money that we make, we're gonna be trying to fill up all the food pantries.
nice.
And then also, what we'd like to get out to the community is we're gonna also be receiving non-perishable items. So there's gonna be a place where if you do come to the Harvest Fest, you can bring some canned things and just donate that way also.
All right, so that's September 20th, 2025, with the rain date of the September 27th, 11 to 3.
Yes. And in the past, we've done it in the past before COVID happened. And both churches, both Baptist churches in Bellingham would just work together and be a team to put them out. But this year, we just started up again.
Okay, that's great. I'm personally looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I just I've been in Bellingham now for 3 years as the pastor over there, and this will be my first Harvest Fest, but just looking forward to, a good turnout with the town and really supporting the community. And like Pastor Barron said, these local food banks and anything that we can do, to help anybody is our goal in this community, and it's been there for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So
What parish are you with, sir?
Bellingham Bible Baptist,
Oh, okay.
Hartford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And, since COVID, I'm not sure if any of you all been noticing how long the lines have been on a Tuesday morning for the, St. Blaise. And that's when we decided, was talking about, the Harvest Fest and how we could start it up again and do something about helping out with that cause.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Pastor Barron and Pastor Mike, could you mention some of the activities?
Oh,
yeah, so there's going to be a number of things, especially for children, obstacle course, bounce house. We have a number of vendors lined up as well that will have their items, food trucks. There'll be also a first aid station, in case somebody needs a Band-Aid or something like that. But really just looking to have a fun time and for kids to come out and enjoy it and just really see that how much we love our community.
Yeah,
And just to kind of reestablish that. Maybe 286 years for
Yes.
your church and 179 years for my church, so.
I
The
also,
music, I see music on.
yeah,
there.
we're gonna
What's
be
the-
having a concert also.
What kind, what's the, is there a band?
It's gonna
It's a
be,
Christian band.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, it's a Christian band with bluegrass style.
Oh, excellent.
yeah, yeah. So something country.
And free pony rides for all the
Yeah,
kids.
I can't wait.
All
pony
your
rides.
grandchildren, Don.
Absolutely.
There's also pony rides, there's gonna be face painting.
Nice.
Then we're gonna have a few demonstration, karate, schools in the locally. And dance studio is gonna be performing, so. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good time and we're really excited.
Yeah, supporting the local businesses that come
Yeah.
out as vendors is also a
Yeah.
neat thing.
I believe that's how it started back before COVID. But we did it 3 years and I think at the time, the businesses were struggling. We thought we could bring family and local business together on a fun day, and that's how this all started. So,
That's great.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you both very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, 7:05, we're gonna be interviewing Linda Goodspeed for Commission on Disability.
Didn't know it was an interview.
You're interviewing us is really what he.
Yeah.
More of a conversation.
Yeah.
Ms. Goodspeed, how are you?
Good, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, I'm a candidate for the Disability Commission. I've moved to Bellingham 3 years ago. I am blind. I lost my sight as an adult. I grew up in Vermont. Went to the university up there, UVM, and worked for several years as an editor at a daily newspaper. And it was during this time that I started losing my sight pretty rapidly and ended up moving to Boston. I had to give up driving and decided to move to the city for public transportation and also more job opportunities. I got into healthcare writing and worked for a number of years at Mass General Hospital, MGH, and later at Healthcare for All, which is a consumer advocacy organization. Along the way, I received a lot of help and support from a number of different organizations. And it was all of this help and support and training that really enabled me to get back into the workforce and also to live independently as a blind person. I would like to get involved here in Bellingham and meet other people, find out what their needs are. The thing about disability is one size does not fit all. My issues as a blind person are different from, say, somebody in a wheelchair or hearing or intellectual disability. So I would like to meet other people and see what we can do to make this community even better. I like Bellingham. I've met a lot of nice people here. I've been involved at the senior center, which is a great resource for the community. Has a great staff there, and I would just like to get more involved.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Mr. Spencer, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you for volunteering your time to help others that are in need and look forward to your support.
How often does the commission meet?
Caroline is here. She can answer those questions. Caroline is the chairperson, the chair of the commission.
I serve as the staff person to the Commission on Disability. We actually have a meeting next week We meet during the daytime, we meet downstairs at the municipal center. So I'll send you, the information about our meeting, but I think that historically they've met.
It'll be, typically, we would meet at least every 2 months more if there are issues that come up of things that need to be addressed. So, but a minimum of every other month
But they're during the day.
during the day,
So-
yep,
During the day,
So, okay,
Yeah.
great.
right.
which is convenient
Helpful,
for
helpful.
everybody. Yeah.
How many people are on the commission?
You'll be the fourth, so we're trying to expand the commission, so. I know someone had reached out to you, I think someone had recommended from the commission, you'd be a good person to reach out to, or you might be interested, or you're looking to get involved, so I know. We appreciate you following up on it.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I've had a lot of help over the years and I'd like to give back. And Bellingham, we have a great transportation system here, which is so important for people with disabilities. Great drivers, but it does have some limitations. You know, it only runs during the week and it only runs up until about 3 p.m. So, you know, maybe that's something we can look at trying to expand. I know where I used to live, we had a volunteer driver program, so maybe that's something we could look into, or go after some grants, or, you know, see what we can do.
That'll be great.
Great.
I think that's awesome.
Mr. Martinez, you have questions?
No, I just would like to thank you very much, volunteering your time and all the work that you've done so far, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about your input, because we certainly need to serve our individuals that are less fortunate than someone like myself that has a hard time getting around. So I really, really appreciate you coming forth, volunteering your expertise and your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Mr. Sebastian, any questions?
I'm good with my questions. Once again, like everyone else, we thank you for coming forward and to volunteering for this group. So, and I think your input will be valuable with all of your resources that you've already done. So I'm very excited about this.
Okay, great. What's your name?
This is Ann Odebashan.
Oh, yeah, I know you.
I know you.
Everyone knows him.
Mrs. Altamont.
No, I have no questions. Just thank you so much. And I'm excited to see where this committee goes with your input. So excited to see this grow.
Thank you for applying. Do I have a motion? on the floor for
I make a motion to approve the application.
Second.
All right, second. All those in favor?
Aye. You're all set.
Well,
I approved.
Absolutely, that was
Thank
easy.
you.
So Caroline and myself will both send you an email, okay?
Okay,
All right.
that sounds good. And your name is?
Hillary.
Oh, you're Hillary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Amy, could you swear her in tonight, seeing she's right here?
I can do it, or I can do it at the meeting. I'll be here. You said you have a meeting next Tuesday?
Oh, all right. Could you, only because to make her come back.
Yeah, do it Tuesday. at the
That'd be
meeting.
great.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
Is it
thank you.
Next Tuesday?
Not tomorrow.
The
Not,
eighth,
but next week, Tuesday?
We'll get you. yeah,
Tuesday at
it
9.
can't be- I don't think it's
Tuesday at
tomorrow.
10.
Tuesday at 10. Tuesday, the 19th.
Good.
10 o'clock. But we'll send you an email.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank
Linda.
you.
Yeah. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Unanimous. Woo.
All right, moving along, we got the joint appointment with the planning board for interviewings for Mr. Hall and Mr. DeVoe.
So I think the planning board needs to open up their meeting.
as such. So I'll make a motion to open the planning board side of the meeting. I'm looking for a second. Seconded by Bill. I think I heard that, and we'll start with an opening vote and attendance. Marty, aye.
Liz,
Bill,
I-
aye. Bill, aye. We're all here and,
All right, do we want both the applicants?
No, just do one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we will call Mr. Hall.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us about yourself, tell us what you're doing.
I don't want to rehash all that. So I think everyone, knows that I ran for planning board. I've been very interested in the position and, I pulled papers right away. I did everything I was supposed to do and campaigned and got signs and went to the meeting. To meet the candidates thing, but, I've been involved in the town long before that. I coached, every sport for many, many years. I own a business. I built a business, here, and I'm starting a second business. And I just ran because I was encouraged to run by a number of people. I wasn't happy with some of the decisions that I saw being made, not just in the planning board, but I just wanted to get involved in the town in a way I hadn't been involved before. And that's why I ran. And it was clear that I mean, I only lost by 39 votes. It was pretty close. I had 750 people in the town come out and you know, vote for myself. And when I saw this opportunity to come up to become an associate member, which I knew that role existed, I didn't hesitate. It seemed like an obvious task to undertake and fill the application out. I did it immediately. I don't know, it was 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. And here we are, and nothing's really changed. I just want to contribute, you know, my experience and speak for the residents. And I think in some cases, many cases in the past, in recent past, I think the residents have not really been heard, in my opinion. And that really drew me to the position. I think sometimes some of the members on the boards, they don't listen to the residents. And I just felt that I'd be a good voice for the people, and that's why I did it, and that's why I'm here today.
Mr. Spencer, you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Mr. Martinez, you have any questions?
Mr. Hall, how many years have you lived in Bellingham?
26.
26, and you were, and I'll just say this, I know that because we weren't together, you live on High Street, right?
34 High Street across.
I know that, so I just wanted a little, I know that when EMC was coming to town, you were a big part of those meetings as well.
Yeah.
That was a big part of that meeting. You've been a big part of, you know, why High Street and other streets have the trash that we do and litter, all of that stuff. Is there anything else in the town thoughts? I'd love to hear just more, a little bit more about some of the things that have bothered you a little bit.
The litter bothers me immensely, the trash. The fact that High Street and Maple Street are designated as scenic roads it's sad. There's trash everywhere, not just on those two streets, but I mean, it's, you know, it's egregious and nothing, I don't want to say nothing gets done about it, but one Earth Day a year isn't enough. So I've spoken to you about it, I've spoken to Sahan about it, I've spoken to Jesse about it. And I think everyone has great intentions, but nothing really seems to get done. So, you know, maybe I can help drive some change in that direction. You know, I hate to use this as an example because everyone seems to use this as the same example, but the last warehouse that we put up. Now granted, it's a big ugly warehouse, but it's aesthetically ugly too. Just the colors alone are ugly. I mean, that's what I do for a living. And, you know, I just little things like that. I mean, maybe working with the planning board, being on the planning board and working through some projects to really get the developers to understand the aesthetics of the building mean a lot. You know, the drive-by, the appearance, the curbside appearance, I think some of these things aren't really, you know, talked about. So yeah, the litter's a big thing with me. I know that's not a planning board issue, but if I can address it through that role, I would do it.
So actually, good questions.
Never really, I mean, I've known Brian for a long time. I've known him when he was down in the corner over here where the other little store is, and I know you've been very involved, and I know your feelings on the planning board. I've supported you from the standpoint that you are very much an outspoken person. Sometimes you need to rein it in a bit, but you are really dedicated to the residents of this town, so I don't really have any other questions.
So, no, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
So, may I just add something? I don't have any questions, but I'm certainly gonna say this, whether I say it now or say it afterwards. I am one of the individuals that encouraged Brian to run for the associate after he lost. I knew that if he didn't win, that there was that opportunity, and I thought that's a great time. You know, Brian still has a voice. He may not have a vote, but he certainly has a say. And I would have done the same thing for Mr. Roach. Had Mr. Roach not won the position, I would have said, Mr. Roach, become an associate member, because we talked about things along those lines. Brian's been in this town for 20-something, 26 years. He knows the town inside and out. He's seen it when it was a small town. He's seen how it's grown. He has good ideas. I think he'd be a valued member as an associate member. And I'll also mention, you know, a handful of years ago, and I don't know specifically the year, that Liz Berthollet, she was an associate member then ran, and she thought for sure that her, Mr. Devine and Nick, we thought for sure that, Liz will get it, and then she didn't. And instead of just walking away from it, she immediately became an associate member. So I applauded Liz for that and been a big supporter of hers, and I'm doing the same for Brian. I think somebody that went out there, campaigned, spent his money, personal money, signs, did all the things, showed up on, voting day, someone that really is putting out there. So that, for me, my support is gonna be for Brian Hall, and that's why, it's just logical, it's nothing to do with the other candidate. But when I look at the years of experience and how long he's been in the town, I just think it sheds a positive light.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
You.
Mr. DeVoe.
One point of question, there's gonna be questions from the planning board.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that, I'm sorry.
Senator?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm sorry,
No,
sorry.
that's all right, this is the first joint that we've done, I've been a part of 3 of these.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Hall.
So, would any of the planning board members like to start?
I'll ask one question, Brian, and it kind of echoes a little bit of what Ann had mentioned. Sometimes you're a little too passionate. In the role on the planning board, and I mean, this is something I did a lot of research on before I even decided to run. It's not just what people think and want. It's what is legally binding within the town and how you have to administrate the planning board and the process of handing out permits. Do you understand that, and can you appreciate that if a builder and a developer meets all criteria? This is America. They can do what they want, as long as they're meeting the town's bylaws and all the other criteria, and there's a list that we go through. Do you understand that? Because some of your social media has portrayed that you don't care about that. It's just, well, the people don't want it, so you don't do it.
That's the question?
Yeah.
I fully understand it.
Okay.
And I don't think my social media is that relevant. It's my personal page, social media. If you don't like it, I would say don't follow it. Now,
Oh, you blocked me, but that's
I
okay.
understand. Well, if you want to go down this road, I will.
Not in the meeting,
Not here.
not here.
So I do understand how the process does work. And as Steve has said on occasion, just because a project may check off all the boxes, doesn't mean it's the right thing for the community. So I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Hall. It's generally known that you have a rather active social media presence. You've posted many times that you're critical of the planning board in general, as well as some direct attack on specific board members. I strongly believe in free speech, but I also believe that board members need to work collaboratively, as well as to be respectful of one another, despite our. I hope that you will have the temperament and the willingness to be a collaborative board member and demonstrate respect towards all board members.
I do. I commit to that.
Steve, any questions?
No questions. Jack, this just makes it, whatever somebody's private social media is their private social media. I understand that it can be public, but we shouldn't be bringing it up in a joint board meeting, please.
So,
I've just asked, just if it's private, if it's on the private page, just keep it private. If
if it's related to this specific
Board,
topic we're
yeah.
on right now.
Yeah.
So the first question I'll ask is one that I'll ask the other candidates as well. Is there currently any applications that have been submitted or will be submitted in the future that you might have to recuse yourself?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Okay,
I think I know where you're going, but keep going.
all right. I hear what you're saying.
Can I just interrupt for a
Yeah,
second?
Prime Minister.
How, if he's not a member of the board and you're the chairman, how would he know at this point if he'd have to recuse? That would be your responsibility to make him aware if he's appointed that he needs to recuse himself. He doesn't have that
The
responsibility.
question has been asked the last several candidate
I'm just
forums that
saying,
we've had. That's a fair question. Okay,
I've never
We-
heard that question.
I was asked that question when I ran for the associate position, sir.
I believe it was asked at the last, I'm
That was a long time ago.
vaguely.
Okay, the other question I'm gonna ask the other candidates, so I'll throw it to you as well, is would you see yourself running for the planning board election to be an elected member? Knowing what you just did, I would suspect I know your answer to that.
Knowing what I just did.
You ran for the planning
Oh.
board. That's gonna be a
Uh,
question that I would ask.
That's
all of them.
hypothetical. I have no idea. I would use the experience of being an associate member to help gauge whether or not I'm gonna run, probably. That'd be
Okay.
one of the factors, one of many factors, but I'm not gonna tell you right now, oh, I'm definitely running, or I'm definitely not running.
Okay. Well, one of the roles that, this is a learning position,
Mhm.
and one of the things that allows this learning position to grow into is to run as a planning board member. So to me, that was a question I was asked in the future, so that's why I asked it.
Your question is, am I gonna
would-
run again?
Would you see yourself running again? Because I'm gonna ask the next candidate, do you see yourself running for the planning board in an election situation?
I see myself considering running.
That's a fair answer.
There you go.
That's a fair answer. But again, that's a question I'm gonna ask the other gentleman.
Sounds good.
And, I am gonna ask one question based upon the fact social media referenced this particular event. And I'm sure you see it coming, but you mentioned that you were looking to hold the planning board accountable as an associate member, and I was trying to figure out how you see yourself holding the planning board accountable as an associate member if your candidacy went forward.
Just asking questions, just speaking for the residents and asking questions. If I see things that I don't think are, and again, as a learning role, I have a lot to digest, so to speak. It's not something I don't think can be done. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think it was possible. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna adjust on the fly and learn as I go. But if I see something egregious, something I don't agree with, I have every right to ask the planning board a question, what you may say, or what Bill may say, or what anyone else may say. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think these people hold themselves accountable. You hold each other accountable. What's the difference?
So that's what you meant by the statements you were making.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. I appreciate the honest answer.
Okay.
Bill, can I make a comment?
Yes, you haven't weighed in yet. Go ahead.
I just want to mention that from my experience, before I started to, decided to run, I had my opinions about certain projects and things of that sort as a resident. So I don't think it's, unusual or inappropriate to have a personal opinion. But when you become a board member, you have to have the ability to switch gears and follow the rules. I don't see Brian's opinion about what he's seeing in town as being problematic if he becomes on the board, because like everyone else, we all have to follow the rules and the process and kind of switch hats. And frankly, I did that. I mean, I had a lot of opinion about what was going on, and I would hope that you would agree that being on the board now, I follow the process as it should be. And I believe Brian would do the same. So that's a comment I want.
So, can I ask a question?
Oh, sorry, Liz. Apologize. You're behind Rob here. So.
No, I'll ask a lighter question, hopefully to clear the air, but, you've been in town a long time, you've been involved in these processes. Have there been any projects in town that you would point to as a success, in your opinion? Or you thought the process went well, or, you felt it was more of a benefit to the residents?
On the spot, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure there's been, and I'm certain there's been plenty, but I've kind of focused on the ones that bother me, to be honest with you.
Fair,
Um,
fair.
I could get back to you. I'm sure that I haven't really attended many meetings that I thought that, that the project was great from start to finish. You know, they're all a process, and I've seen some things that I, you know, have questioned. And again, it's part of the reason that I'm running, but yeah, the ones that I was most interested in or paying attention to are the ones that seem to bother the most people, like the NECC project or the EMC project in the past, or things that are, just don't seem to fit the character of the town. And just because the applicant checks off every single box, I personally don't think that, you know, I think it, again, I mean, if it doesn't fit the character of the town, we need to be able to negotiate or push back on that developer instead of negotiating from a point of weakness in some instances. That's what it seems like to me. So, you know, again, I have a lot to learn about being on the board, but, you know, I welcome the opportunity. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think that, you know, I could do it, or if I didn't really want to do it. I'm not doing this because I don't have anything better to do. So, you know, this is why I'm going through the process.
Thank you, Mr. Howells. Anybody have any further questions?
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Mr. DeVoe.
I did this last time, is it okay if I introduce myself? Great, hey, congrats on the title. I hope you enjoy it. See you again. See you, Don. See you still. Miss Old Fashioned. Talk about it. How are you? Good body.
All right, Mr. DeVoe, welcome. Seems like you were just here. Want to refresh our memory about you a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been a resident here for only about 3.5 years, but you know, this town's really felt like home to me because my father lived here for the past 20-something years, so I grew up a lot of the time here. And my background, I grew up in North Attleboro, and I graduated with doctorate in pharmacy in 2019. I've worked clinically, as well as in the medical and regulatory space. And so I do feel like my background does give me some, does align somewhat well with the role in terms of being able to manage complex data, as well as looking into regulatory and issues, as well as synthesizing legal and those regulatory bodies that govern what the planning board is responsible for. So, and along with that, I do feel as though my skill set can possibly add something to the planning board and to help with achieving progress while preserving what makes the town of Bellingham unique. And honestly, I really just want to be a small part of what makes this town Bellingham, and making it so that it's a town that my son is proud to call his home.
Spencer, any questions?
No questions.
Mr. Martinez. Any questions?
I just want to thank you again. I know it's not easy to come here, and I'm sure you're a little disappointed. We're all very impressed with you the first time. And the reason why I voted the way I did is because that person had a lot of experience in the conservation area, and that's really, she get a jump start. So it had nothing to do with, you know, and planning board, I appreciate you being here and wanting to stay involved. Being younger than I and growing a family here in this town, it's very encouraging to me to see the young folks coming out and wanting to be part of this community and helping mold this community to whatever future may be. But I just wanted to say thank you. I don't really have any questions because you said it all. I said it already how I feel, and it's not a personal thing. But I wrote a couple of things down, whether this works for you or not. Board of Health and School Committee. If you have children that are going to go through the Bellingham Public Schools, I would encourage you tremendously, if there's a position open, again, run for school committee. Because I think you'd find that your analytical mind would be very much appreciated on that committee.
I appreciate that. And
And I'll help you.
I appreciate
I will endorse you and I will help you.
to that point, I did reach out to Nicole, congratulate her, and I was watching virtually her first meeting, and I was blown away by her knowledge in the very first day, and I reached out and said, the select board made a good choice.
Well, it's nice of you to say that, thank you.
What about?
I'm gonna echo John's sentiments. I thank you, and I know the last time you were here, you're very, very impressive, so. To have you on any board in the town would be very, very good, and, you know, maybe this isn't your place, the place for you, but there is definitely a place for you in our town and on our boards and part of our community, so we're really happy you came out. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'll start out. So I'll ask the two questions you heard earlier, but, this board select board seems to know some of your credentials and all that stuff in the past and some of the things you've been involved with, but maybe you can elaborate for the planning board. Have you been involved with any town government or boards, not necessarily in this town, but in other places? It sounds like you volunteered for the position of conservation board and didn't necessarily get that position, but love hearing people get involved. Have you been involved with any town government or any of the other boards or anything in any other location?
Yes, I've been somewhat peripherally involved, and Rob could attest to that a little bit as we've shared some communications.
Go ahead.
I've been working with, well, not working with, but discussing with the Conservation Commission, going to all the meetings. And really doing a lot of research into this, well, the conservation and the planning side, and emailing any concerns or like regulatory ideas or concerns to Hannah as well as Rob when applicable. And there were some other areas that I spoke with Rob about, just with certain developments going up as I've been over the past 6 months to a year, been really just looking more into what's been going on in the town as I've kind of settled down here and in my career, family, having more time to see what's going on in town.
Are you in a butter to any of the projects going on in town? Okay, so I'll ask the next question that I asked before. Is there any projects that you would think you would have to recuse yourself on, whether they're up in front of the planning board or would come in the future?
To my knowledge, I have no conflicts of interest.
Okay, thank you. And you heard the conversation earlier. This is a learning position. It's one I served for 2 years in, and I found it very valuable learning. One of the questions I was going to ask, and I'll ask you, is that, you know, could you see yourself running for a full planning board position in the future? And it doesn't have to be next round after or into the future, but you see yourself running for a position?
I could see myself considering it, as Mr. Hall said, and just because it may not be exactly what I think it is, but I couldn't give you a definitive answer.
That you're open to possibly.
I would be open to the possibility.
Okay. That's the questions I have for now. Bill?
Sir, I've gone through your application. I want to pick up on a couple of things. You indicate here your professional experience includes analyzing complex data, optimizing resource uses, reviewing detailed documentation, for accuracy, clarity, all the skills that I believe are highly applicable to the planning board's responsibilities. That's one thing I'd like you to expand on,
Yes.
and how you think it's appropriate.
Did the planning board get a copy of my resume? Yes. So just to expand upon that, I have published a few analyses in medical journals, looking at various patient care aspects. Could find under the publications tab in there, and also where my current job is working on the medical team at a small biotech company. So I'm always analyzing mostly medical data that comes in, but a lot of that includes legal and regulatory issues. So really making sure that you're going through that with a fine-tooth comb and making sure that, you know, you're not saying recommend when you mean suggest, even small tiny little things like that, or consider. So looking into those things and just I really enjoy statistics. I've even shared some of my statistics, things with Rob, with certain things going on, and does that answer your question?
It does. Another thing I want to ask.
Okay.
You also indicated that you're involved in the development of the strategic plans for clinical trials and health system integration, which require coordination across multiple stakeholders, long-term planning, and careful understanding of the impact of all qualities relevant to evaluating proposals and managing town growth.
Yeah, well,
How does that play into what we do?
so with a lot of these larger scale projects that go on, they're usually not short of a year in length, and as relevant with a lot of the clinical trials that I work on, anyone who works in the medical field might be able to indicate that a clinical trial takes no less than 3-5 years and no less than six figures. So being able to manage those large, the personnel in that amount of time, as well as, I know I wouldn't be managing money or anything like that, but all those resources and making sure that they're delegated to the right places so that you have a mutually beneficial, outcome is exhaustive and requires a lot of, a skill set, we'll say.
So it sounds like you would have no problem being a collaborative or team member.
Oh, no, I have multiple team members within my own organization, as well as in outside organizations that I discuss with all the time, very responsive to emails. Never try to shift blame on anyone, take responsibility when it's my fault. So I try to be as collaborative as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, so couple questions, in terms of scheduling and your work schedule. I know that's something that's been asked of me in the past. Do you foresee any issues with meeting twice a month, Thursdays at 7? Are there any other like work travel, work commitments, things like that?
I do travel occasionally for work. I was actually just chatting with Bill earlier that I did have something previously planned for Thursday, the 28th, before even considering this. So that might be one meeting where if it still goes through, I may not be able to attend. But usually I couldn't foresee really many instances where, as long as I have it on my calendar, that I would need to not attend, or if I couldn't attend virtually.
Okay, and then I guess I'll sort of ask the same question, although I know you haven't lived here as long, but I guess maybe giving us a little bit of understanding of what you know about development in town and how that's been going, specific projects, anything that you've kind of been paying attention to.
Yeah, I mean, when I moved in, I believe the Curtis apartments were starting to go up. So I really wasn't involved with too much of the discussion of that, or really even looking at the plans or anything of that nature. So that's really been the complete project that's been completed while I've been here. But I've been actively involved with like the Prospect Hill Village, out in over on Prospect Street and Lake Street, going to the Conservation Commission meetings. Haven't been as involved in that one because it's in the later stages, but also the Blackstone Street project that's really in the infantile stages now. So I've been doing my research on that, seeing what I can do. I actually certified a vernal pool in the area, like before the project was even thought of, just because I was like, this is a really cool resource. I hate for it to go away, and then what do you know?
Okay, thank you, that's all I had.
Steve, no questions?
One question I'd have, I know you were in front of the board before, looking at a different position. I followed the select board, whether I'm in person or online watching,
Well, I
as well as the
appreciate that.
planning board. And being that you didn't get, and I know you are active, is there a reason you didn't think about running for the planning board in the last election for any reason? Trust me, I know it's a big commitment to do it, because I did it late, and I jumped in and I went full feet. So I understand it, just curious if you had even considered it prior.
By the time I started really looking into the building and stuff, the elections had already kind of been going underway, and I didn't feel as though it would, not for lack of a better term, be a good return on investment when everybody else had kind of gotten a head start.
Okay, and again, it wasn't really tricky, I was just, if you would consider.
That's a fair question.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you.
Yeah, if you were to. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Brian Hall as the associate member of the planning board.
I'll second.
For the motion for the planning board.
I believe it's a joint motion, right?
Yeah.
So you got a motion and a second, you can handle it much like you do with the, with the, with the chairmanship and ask if, are there any other motions?
Okay.
Or you could vote on this one first, but it does take 6 votes to appoint.
All right. We have any other motions on the floor?
I would make a motion to nominate Robert DeVoe for associate seat.
Second.
Second.
First and second, so now we need
So
to.
you vote on the first one first.
All right, we do a roll call for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So from the planning board, Phil Devine, no.
with a motion of Mr. Hall, planning board, all right?
Bill O'Connell, no.
Liz Bertholet, no.
Matty Roach, no.
Steve, yes.
Cody Spencer, no.
Jen, no.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I need to vote on the,
Motion for Mr. DeVoe.
Phil Devine, yes.
Bill O'Connell, yes.
Liz Bertholet, no.
Matty Roach, yes.
Steve, no.
Cody Spencer, no.
And yes.
Don, no.
And no.
so then neither candidate has
Yeah.
the 6 votes, so the position would remain open.
Okay.
The planning board would like to close its meeting. And I have a motion and a second.
Make a motion to close the planning board meeting.
Second. All right, all in favor? Steve? Steve, aye.
Matty, aye.
Bill on,
Liz, I.
Bill, aye. Thank you.
Make a motion to close. Oh, no, we aren't gonna close.
No.
We're gonna close our meeting.
No.
We're not. Sorry. We're
Can
here.
I ask a question?
Yes.
So what happens now with that position, for the application, what's the next?
Well, the position will remain open, so applications will continue to be sought.
Are we both eliminated from applying again?
That would be up to the board. If you wanted to leave your application in, I suppose you could certainly do that. Yes.
That's.
All right, moving along, we got the finance office reorganization.
And Heidi is joining us virtually. She's been ill and
I see her there.
hanging in there
Where is she?
to join us. Or I see her name up there.
Oh, I see it.
Heidi, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so I'll just introduce, I did provide you with a summary as well as Heidi's job description. It's a no-cost reorganization. I think it makes good sense. Heidi's been working on this along with Caroline for quite some time to try and make some efficiencies in the office. Obviously, we're still regrouping from when Beth had passed away. Beth took on many responsibilities that were really outside the scope of what she should have been doing, but you know, Beth would always step up and take certain things on. But the conversations I had with Beth often were about getting those things where they need to be. And that's part of what this is doing. So no additional funding. We're taking payroll position as well as part-time position that has gone unfilled. And we'd look to promote somebody from within that's performing the payroll now. And Heidi, maybe you can go over it a little bit beyond what I gave, any additional information.
So we're looking to reorganize him to the assistant CFO position so that he'll be able to assist myself and Caroline in some of our duties that we do. He has over 20 years of experience in municipal finance. He was previously the assistant CFO for a large school district. So he has extensive knowledge with municipal finance, and I think he'd be a great asset to our team.
And he's been doing a great job for us in the like this office. He's doing the payroll now, which is a very difficult position. It's all they do, to be honest with you. Michelle Nolan did it for a long time, did a great job. We've had multiple people in there. And he's able to basically do it in a couple of days. So he has a lot of excess capacity that we need to tap into. So that's the
Do you just need a vote?
recommendation, yes, look to approve the reorganization.
Do I have a motion to reapprove?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
Great
Go
job.
get some rest.
Heidi, rest up.
Heidi, thank you. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Yourself.
Feel better.
All right, chief.
Next on the list, do you want to cough drop him?
No idea.
We
You know what bothers me when I
all
talk?
sound good.
Good evening. I'll try to be brief for you. So basically, this kind of was a fourth quarter decision. I talked to Dennis and reorganizing the administration for the police department has been something that's been on my radar since I started. Basically, I have two, a lieutenant is in the private sector, like a vice president or director. So between me, Steve, and Ken, there's three of us. Medway has more. Norfolk has more. Holliston has more. Rentham has more. I could go on and on, but agencies much smaller than us are doing what three of us do with the same or more. Comparable agencies, Sharon, Foxborough, some of the other places have a much broader command staff. So it asks a lot of these guys. So the first part of my reorg was creating a third lieutenant position. Will also give us a little bit of depth, a little bit of help with succession planning. Ultimately, the move I want to make next July would be to add a deputy chief, which would in high likelihood be Lieutenant Daigle. But we did learn some lessons when the previous two lieutenants departed, and I had two people brand new to their roles overlapping a month apart. It's tough. So I didn't want to do both of those moves, and financially we couldn't do both moves right now. Move two people up, you know, budget wise, we couldn't afford it. And then I'm back to people taking on new roles at the same time, trying to learn something new in a small command staff. So this will give us some chance to bring the third lieutenant up to speed, give them some depth of knowledge and their new additional responsibilities. And then, you know, hopefully by next fiscal year, we can make one more move. So, should be a relatively cost neutral move. There'll be a little bit of a cost that I can absorb in my budget, but currently we're basically looking at reclassifying one of our existing sergeants who works in the almost entirely administrative capacity. And within the union, between overtime he gets for a variety of the specific tasks he does, not working shifts, but dealing with crises with the building, after hours, technology stuff, things like that, and holiday pay, it'll be close to the salary of a lieutenant. It'll be cost us a little bit out of pocket. So the first part is adding a third lieutenant, give me a little bit of roster depth in the management end of things, senior leadership end of things, and help develop somebody else. And the other part of it was to Dennis, was my recommendation was Sergeant Chris Padula. He's on our active promotional list. Obviously, that's a civil service list we don't have to follow anymore, but we're still using it. And he's been performing the duties of a police lieutenant for almost since I've stepped in.
The biggest accomplishment will be becoming an accredited police department. Our on-site accreditation is actually tomorrow morning. So we're out past our bedtime because people will be there with clipboards and glasses low in their nose to go through all of our documents and paperwork, and make sure everything's in order. So Chris has basically owned that effort since day one. We also put him in charge of dispatch. He's on the traffic safety committee, or the traffic advisory committee. He serves on that. He does the disability committee, things, parking ramps and all that. And then the other big piece he's done is our construction project, where our over budget items on an over $1 million project are $30,000, which is virtually unheard of. The contractor says they can't wait to never see him again. And I don't think they can wait to run out of town. So he's really killed it at what he's done. And he's been doing the work of a lieutenant, but being compensated as a sergeant. So just looking to get him, appropriately recognized and compensated for the work he's been doing. And then also be able to move things forward and kind of build the department out the way it needs to be for the next 5 to 10 years. We're running with the same command structure they had in the 80s. So that's kind of it. I haven't asked for any bodies. I'm not now. This is simply basically a reclassification. So no new positions, no new budget requests, just gonna reclass one employee.
And no loss of anyone on the street, because Chris is an administrative sergeant. He's not working a patrol.
And he's probably watching, but now when the phone rings at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night because the fire alarm's going off and a sprinkler's going, doesn't cost us anything for him to come in. Salaried exempt employee. So that's the gain on the management side, is we get some flexibility to deal with some of these after hour stuff. And he comes to some of the meetings, the planning board meetings, he's involved in that. So gives us some flexibility that every time something comes up, I don't have to look at the overtime budget and say, can I take the person that specializes this and afford to send them? Because it's gonna come out of the bottom line. So this takes that equation off the table too.
Vote, right? All you need is a vote.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve your reorganization.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Chief, before
Ma'am,
you go,
yes.
I want to congratulate you because we are now accredited, am I not mistaken?
We will be.
Or we will be.
So they come in
I
person.
hate to get,
Tomorrow, the next 2 days, they'll be there
Okay.
doing the in-person.
because I saw it and I picked up on it quickly and I was like, oh my God, it's
They
so
take
overdue.
everything. They leave with it. Over a month or so, they'll look and see if there's any questions they missed. A third person at the MPAC, Mass Police Credit, at the commission office will look and say, oh, hey, policy, whatever, do they give ANSI traffic vest to the police, something? They might ask something, and we send them a picture of something or proof of compliance. And then ultimately, the award is slated for February, November. Yeah, they do the awards twice a year in November and February. So ultimately, either in November or February, they'll come out and give a plaque and all that, and then technically say we're an accredited police department.
That was one. And then the other thing I want to tell you is that I think it's been so good to see all of the things from the police Facebook page, because it answers so many questions that people will be on there second guessing. And I think you've done a magnificent job on that. So
Try
There you
to
go.
stay ahead of the news and the media when bad things happen. And the speculation on
Yeah.
Bellingham, whichever, there's like 4 of them, unhinged, unfiltered, off
Oh,
the
yeah,
wall,
yeah.
whatever.
all-
Whichever one, when somebody says, what are the sirens on South Main, before somebody's saying there was, God knows what, we're able to, hey, the road's closed, there's a wire down, there's a car accident, or whatever, but
You've done a great job, and I
Thank
wanted to, I knew you were coming tonight, so I wanted to say thank you, because it makes a difference, it really does.
appreciate it.
It's a helicopter.
And I'm not trying to jinx the other thing, but I was picking up on it today, on Facebook, because you were explaining it, and I was like, oh God, that's fantastic.
I've lived the other experience 2 times over, and I'm gonna say that we're probably twice as ready and squared away as my previous agency. So, and that's primarily due to Chris. Steve had a big part in helping writing the policies when I came in, because we didn't have any. But Chris has been meticulous with organizing everything. The proof of compliance is the hardest part. Accreditation doesn't affect the cops. It's more work on management. It's making sure we're properly managing versus making sure the cops are doing their job right. Gives them guidelines, but then we have to That's the craziest part, is we go and do this endeavor and it creates 10 times more work for ourselves. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks.
for everything.
Good. Next on the agenda, Jesse,
Yes, good evening, everybody.
good evening.
Thank you for your time. So we have tonight here a recommendation for speed humps. This is in the Muron Ave and Pine Grove area. This was vetted through Bellingham's Transportation Advisory Committee, as actually Chief was just speaking about. This was something that we received a request on. Our TAC did review the location. It was deemed a good candidate, to which we did proceed with a design for this location. And our next steps following, if this is approved tonight, we would install temporary speed humps to essentially try them before we buy them. The process would be to install the temporary ones for a season. And if we receive good feedback, our next step would be to install permanent speed humps in this area.
That is another cut through. That's the issue on these cut throughs. Elbow Street, Pleasant Street is where we have them now, cut throughs in that Crooks Corner. People trying to avoid the lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen these in other communities
Yep.
and it truly works really well.
Yep. We shied away from them for a long time, but they're becoming more, if you remember, on Taunton Street.
I
asked for
first
shied.
talking years ago.
We shied away from them,
Yeah.
whether or not they meet the criteria or not, I don't know, but I agree, they're
Yeah.
popping up everywhere now, and especially in cut throughs, it just makes all the sense in the world.
Slows traffic
Just
down.
slows it down, people are going that way, and they feel the need to go extra.
We have a
fast.
lot of places like that. It's just ridiculous. Do you want me to make the motion saying you do live on those streets?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna say-
I move the select board authorize speed humps and warning devices on Muron Ave and Pine Grove Ave as proposed by Bellingham Traffic Advisory Committee and designed by Traffic Engineering Consultants, CHA Solutions Headquarters, Albany, New York.
Second,
We have one question.
All right.
What's that?
He's a resident.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Johnson, live on 120 Pine Grove Ave. I've been there since 1985. It was a dead-end street when I moved there. They did a Deer Run project, and when they did that Deer Run project, there was a cul-de-sac at the end of Deer Run at the junction of Pine Grove Ave. The big problem was, I think the fire department or the police department didn't appreciate the breakthrough gate that was supposed to be installed, and it never was. And then the cul-de-sac was filled in, so it's a straight through road. That road was built in 1998. Deer Run, and Pine Grove Ave was paved in 1998. I have some questions. Where are the other speed bumps in town? This seems like new to me because I've been driving around town. I don't find very many speed bumps anywhere.
They're on a lot of the cut throughs. Jesse can elaborate on that. So there's some, what is it? Elbow across Rentham Road on Elbow Street.
Yes.
They started doing them and they started going behind by Blackstone Street, correct? And that area.
Behind Honeydew.
Behind Honeydew.
Yeah.
So it's all we're doing it on the cut through streets.
Well, it is I'll admit, it is a cut through street. My opinions of speed bumps is it will not slow speeders down. Will cause a lot of noise because we have a lot of landscaping people with landscaping trailers. And every time they hit a speed bump, not only do they make noise already, they will make a lot more noise. It wears out suspension on vehicles. It'll just, I don't, I granted you guys have do some research on these, but we already have a speed ditch on Muron. We have a double speed ditch on Muron. The select woman lives on that street. There's a double, they put laterals across, never fill them up to the surface. Potholes on, because it's filled in, potholes come regularly. And also Deer Run Road, was paved at the same time. And it's straight and it's smooth because it was chip sealed. The chips were removed, and then it was thin coated. And now half of it has been crack sealed up to Taylor Drive. Pine Grove Ave gets patches. I didn't even begin to count them. There has to be hundreds of patches. And also when they put in the sewer pump station, it had already started sinking there when they had the sewer, what do they call it, siphon. The road had already started sinking by the Brook Bridge. And when I saw that you guys were putting a sewer pump station in, I thought they were gonna fix that. Well, now it's worse. So everybody, I especially, and most of the people, when they come down Pine Grove Ave, they go to the left-hand side of that road, because if you hit that at 25, 30 miles an hour, you're gonna launch your car. There is a sizable dip in the road. I've been to the road committee and, no money down the road, no plans. So I guess I've used up most of my things. As a resident of that particular street, I'm not too happy about hearing about speed bumps.
So the proposal is temporary, so they're put in and basically give it a chance, which is what we did on Elbow Street. We tried it for a season, talked to the neighbors about it to make sure that it wasn't being disruptive. Same thing on Pleasant Street. They're in now with the temporary one, so if you drove down Pleasant Street, I don't know if you know where that is, but if you get down Pickering, which is right by the Bank of America, and take a left, you'll see what they look like. So they're not that big, the temporary ones, and you'll get an opportunity to see if in fact it's going to do have the types of problems that you think it might have, but they're not permanent. They're temporary initially, tested out, and then the following year, if in fact they worked out, then permanent ones would go in. As far as the road committee, Jesse, is that street prioritized, do you know? I know.
When I talked to him last night, it was like, no, they have.
Yeah, well, I know it's not this year. This year we have about $1.5 million of projects underway right now. I don't know if it's how it's prioritized for the coming year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse's.
And so we do have it on the list. There are a number of items that we look at when we're prioritizing the roads. I don't have an exact timeline on when this road in particular would be repaved, but it is on our list. It is certainly a candidate for consideration. It is not a dead end that would be lower on the ranking system. So I do appreciate you bringing those forward, and we certainly take them seriously as well. If I could speak to the location of these temporary speed bumps a little bit as well. That is actually one of the items that we look at when we're placing them. The noise, as you mentioned, you have trucks coming over. One of the items that, we want to be sure of is we don't have a speed hump located in a position where it's going to be constantly making noise from trucks and things of that nature going over them. So we try to take that very seriously. And for clarification, we actually do a bit more of a speed hump as opposed to a bump. It is actually a little different. They're a little bit wider. It's not as abrupt. And actually the feedback that we've received on Elbow Street in particular, we're moving towards the permanent installation, and the schedule is a little behind on that with the permanent installation. And the residents in the area are just, really chomping at the bit to get these installed. They've actually received a lot of positive feedback, and we're hoping to see a similar reaction in this location as well. But we've actually seen a very positive, sign after they went in on Elbow Street.
Well, have you consulted any of the residents of these streets?
So we did receive feedback for the request from residents in this area. Yes.
That's how these proposals come forward. We receive comments from different neighbors concerned about the speed of traffic on the roadway looking.
Because the only notification I got was from my daughter, who has the agenda for the meeting. And I got it the end of last week. So I had no idea you guys were planning on speed bumps. My concern is the condition of the road.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So that's all I got to say, you know, seems like it's a done deal and I'm kind of disappointed that you guys go down the road making decisions without notifying the residents that it affects. You know, somebody might have complained about speeders, and I'm sure there are speeders. I've seen them go whizzing by my house. I'm 2 houses from the end. By the time they take the corner at Deer Run, they're doing 40 miles an hour or more. But not everybody, but quite a few people.
As I say, these are temporary, they're just bolted in, gives an opportunity to see if they are going to be disruptive to any of the neighbors.
And if you're talking about Muron Street and Pine Grove Ave, what about Deer Run, which is a nice, straight, smooth road? You know, it just seems like Deer Run gets all the good stuff and Pine Grove and Muron gets the bottom of the barrel. So I'm gonna be at one of your road use committee meetings. I've been there once. I've been busy having my knee fixed and things, but I have a lot of things that should be brought to your attention.
Please, yes, we certainly encourage that. You know, and the feedback that we get from residents are taken, it's all taken very seriously. And yeah, we appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah, there was a motion, if I
Yeah,
second, we had made a vote.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. All right, Jesse, the abatement requests.
Yes, so we have a number of abatements in front of us tonight. I've actually done just scenarios for each of the locations. If you'd like, I can run through each now and give the recommendation. And I've got you know, just some language depending on the decision the board ends up wanting to make. So the first location that we have is 176 Mechanic Street. This request is for an abatement following vehicle damaged replacement trash bin for a nonprofit organization. So the request came in for a trash bin for this nonprofit organization. Typically, there's a $58.20 charge for this type of request. This being a nonprofit, was put up for consideration for a trash bin at no cost to the nonprofit organization.
You want me to do each one, or do you want to just let them go? Just go through.
Just go through them,
Stephanie.
Jesse.
Go through each
And
of
I'm
them.
gonna
Okay.
just go through it quickly myself, okay?
Okay. Excellent. Next up, we have 21 Arapahoe Road. The request for an abatement following this discovery of a running toilet. We did receive receipts that repairs were made in a timely manner. So you'll see the original bill, both water and sewer. The recommended abatement is the next line down. Actually, the customer request followed by the DPW recommended abatement, which is the same. And then at the bottom, you'll see the revised bill. Next up, you'll find 21 Elaine Circle. This request for abatement following the discovery of a damaged outside faucet. Again, repairs were made in a timely manner, and the high bill spans 2 cycles. So you'll see a very common occurrence here. You'll see the original bill, the customer requested abatement amount, the DPW recommended abatement amount, and the total revised bill to follow. 21 Rita Ave. The request for the abatement on this was following a frozen meter that had burst. Frozen meters are considered the property owner's responsibility. They deem it in Massachusetts as negligence. Repairs had not been made at the time, and the caller did agree to a $400 DPW emergency response charge in advance of crew being dispatched. So on this one, you'll see the original bill, the requested amount, the DPW recommended abatement amount, which does differ. And then the 2 scenarios here, depending on which way the board decides to move on this, whether it's a one-time abatement or a one-time revised bill. I do have those 2 motions outlined below. The bold is the recommended by the DPW, and the other is just depending on which direction the board would like to go. And lastly, we have 1052 South Main Street. This request for abatement was also following a frozen meter that had burst. I'll echo that frozen meters are considered the property owner's responsibility, classified as negligence. Repairs have been made, and there's possible consideration for a one-time abatement on this following the repairs that had been made. So we've got the original bill, customer requested abatement, again, the DPW recommended amount, and the two scenarios with the revised amount to follow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I move the select board abate $58.20 as described for 176 Mechanic Street, resulting in an adjusted trash balance due of $0. That was 176 Mechanic, 21 Arapahoe Road. I move the select board abate $319.08 as described for 21 Arapahoe Road, resulting in an adjusted water and sewer balance of $214.08. 21 Elaine Circle. I move the select board abate $477.87 as described for 21 Elaine Circle, resulting in an adjusted water and sewer balance due of $762.33. 21 Rita Ave. So we have two different scenarios here, so I'm going to go with the bottom one. Okay. I move the select board abate $755.83 as described for 21 Rita Ave, resulting in an adjusted water balance due of $610.55. 1052 South Main. I move the select board abate $966.03 as described for 1052 South Main Street, resulting in an adjusted water balance due of $211.58.
I have a question before a second.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I agree with Ann's motion. Jesse, on 21 Rita Ave. We've got the dollars amount about the same amount, 1366, and I'm comparing it to, 1057 South Main Street. Why is there the adjusted balance of 21 Rita of 610, but the adjusted water balance, if it's the same reason, 211.58? Why wouldn't they be proportionate, each of them, if they're frozen meters? To me, if you're gonna do one, I don't know what the percentage is, I didn't do the math. But why wouldn't we do 21 Rita Ave and 1052 in the same percentage? The big disparity there.
Yes, yeah, that's a great question. So on the 21 Rita Ave, the first one, there's actually not only the water usage, but there was also a DPW service call. It was an additional $400 for the after hours
Okay.
emergency response.
Okay, I'm with you, I see it now. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I didn't see that at first, thank you.
You're welcome.
I need a second.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Was there a reason why you went with one over the other? Like, what was the
Well,
reality of the one-time revised bill over the?
I went with giving them all the abatements.
That's just
That's my generous nature.
I was not questioning. I
Yeah,
was no,
sure,
why we
that's
make that
the only
go
reason.
I think the question I have, and I'm not to be difficult here. And I like to be generous too, but if the frozen meters are considered the property owner's responsibility. Why are we agreeing to an abatement at all? I mean, we've had people come before this board over the years where they didn't let us in for their water meters and all of a sudden they got a $13,000 fine bill and we dinged them the $13,000. That was a different board, different time. But if they're frozen, if it's the homeowner's responsibility, why would the DPW even consider an abatement?
So we do allow for a what's called a one-time abatement. It is allowed when a leak is discovered, and the board can make that decision if they would like to consider a one-time abatement on something like this. Where it's a frozen meter, we've got a pretty good outstanding record of, if there's a frozen meter, for example, it's really the homeowner's responsibility to pay that bill. If the board would like to consider this abatement for this, the water lost as a result of this, it's certainly something we can do. It's just, how the DPW should look at these moving forward. We'd be happy to make a recommendation based on what the board would like to see. My experience on this, I am not recommending the full abatement. But again, if it's something that the board would prefer to see, we can certainly make those part of the DPW procedure.
I've just been on this board for a number of years and I've never seen frozen water meters come before the board. I've seen other things, but I've not seen frozen water meters come before the board.
They may have, but we did it.
When we classified it
The
differently.
procedure was
Yeah,
different.
because what you're abating is the water that's lost.
Right.
That's been lost as a result of that, not unlike a leaky toilet or
Yeah.
something else. So we take that as long as they repair it in a timely basis. But what you're looking at are the recommendations made by the DPW are consistent with what's been made in the past. We have residents asking for additional abatements above and beyond what we would ordinarily provide. So
So the ones that are in bold.
are the ones that are being
Are
recommended
the
by
ones that are
the
recommended by the DPW.
inconsistent,
And these are one.
inconsistent with the policy that we have in place.
And we want to be consistent with the
Yeah.
policy in place.
Yeah.
To me, it's important to be consistent. If this is how we've done it in the past, we need to continue, or we're gonna have all these people coming back to us saying, hey, you did it for this one, you didn't do it for me.
So it could be all as recommended by the director.
So I would second the motion, but I would change Ann's motion that we go with the DPW's recommended abatements, which are the ones that are in bold. So that would be for 21 Rita Ave and for 1052 South Main Street, we would go with ones that are in bold.
Yep.
So that's versus the ones at the bottom. If the ones in bold are how we've consistently done this in the past, then I think we need to remain with being consistent.
And it is consistent with the policy
The
that
policy, yeah.
we have. If you go and look at the criteria for abatements, that's what it's following.
Okay.
So the one in bold is what we've normally done.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna change my motion then. And I will do on 21 Rita Ave, I move the select board deny the abatement for 21 Rita Ave resulting in a water balance due of 1366.38. And on 152 South Main, I'll change my motion to say I move the select board deny the abatement of 1052 South Main Street resulting in a water balance due of $1,207.61.
We got a first, we got a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a motion on the meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. Are we doing the minutes?
We can vote on minutes for July first, second, seventh,
We
14th.
have more abatements?
We're going,
Oh, I thought we had. oh,
We
sorry.
skipped over.
we got Cumberland Farms first. I'm like, where?
Oh,
how did we
sorry.
Get that fast.
I am sorry.
It's quick.
Are you
Sorry.
from Cumberland? Yeah, Cumberland.
Cumberland Farms, sorry about that.
We have the attorney representing Cumberland Farms with us tonight. Elizabeth?
Yes. Nice to meet you.
She's from Upton Connell and Deptford.
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to explain what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Chairman, members of the board, Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin. Cumberland Farms and Massachusetts Inc. is just changing a few of their corporate officers. 3 officers and directors are being removed from the licensed entity and 2 new officers and 1 director are being replaced. I can go through the individuals if you'd like, but otherwise it's just a corporate change. There's no operational changes to the store. You will not notice a thing. The manager of record is staying the same. Everything is status quo, so it's just changes at the corporate level, and we've done several times.
We have a motion to,
So moved.
all right, all those in.
Give a second.
Seconded.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I know you deal with corporate issues.
Yeah.
But we've been trying to get permission, maybe you could have someone call us or steer someone in our direction. We've been trying to get Cumberland Farms in South Bellingham to sell our pay-as-you-throw trash bags. Other Market Basket sells them, different stores sell them, and
Okay,
we hit a dead end with Cumberland Farms. We talked to them a few times
okay,
and they're gonna check on it. But if there's someone that
When I send them an update
Yeah.
that you guys voted to approve, I will throw it
Yeah,
out.
throw that in there. It's
But
not
yeah.
unusual. It's something
Yeah.
that stores do all the time. It's just a
The
convenience
overflow of
factor.
trash bags, like if you have trash that
Okay.
doesn't fit in your barrel, you have to buy an additional trash bag and it's
Yes.
a different color.
Got
And
it.
so we're looking for.
You need other outlets to sell those.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chairman has been chirping in my ear about getting one of the felt at the town. I never go to market basket and throw that one out there.
Definitely hate to tell them that you guys are.
Going to Market Basket on a Saturday and Sunday is taking your life into your.
Oh, that sounds miserable. You'll get gas while they're there.
That's bad.
Yeah, you got it.
Say that with Hillary if you get it.
Yeah, I will give them your contact.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. And sorry you have to wait so long.
That's okay.
All right, now for the town meeting warrant.
Yes,
We got a motion.
so we want to open up the fall town meeting warrant, and set a close date of September 12th. Right around the corner, we have to post it the first, Friday in October, so it's gonna come upon us pretty quickly.
Oh, boy.
So
I know Rob's waiting for me to open it up.
Give it a second.
that's terrifying.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Now it's the July minutes. I have a motion on the minutes for July 1st, 2nd, 7th, 14th, and 21st.
So, yeah.
Second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
You.
Yep, I got it.
You got it?
Got it.
I can-
Ask me to do it. I'd like to make a motion to appoint the following town administrator appointments. The animal control officers, Tracy Taddeo and Patrick Kelleher. Building commissioner, Timothy Arcardi. Conservation administrator, Hannah Chase. Select board appointments will be next. We have the capital improvements committee, Roland Lavalley, 3 years.
Yeah, we do need a select board.
And we need a select board member who would like to sit on the CIC.
Mr. Spencer?
You want to do it?
All right.
It's interesting. It's a good learning
Yeah.
experience.
Awesome.
And Cody Spencer.
Yay, Cody.
Cody, that's a 3-year term.
Okay.
Okay. Cemetery Commission, oh my God, Dennis Frame, unexpired term. And Parks Commission, Dennis Frame, which is a 3-year term. That's it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
And just a side note, Dennis's appointments will be effective September.
It will be effective when?
So.
September
And
2nd,
Mr.
so
Chair,
far.
there are a couple of other, committees too that,
Yes.
Mr. Sahan.
It's gonna be-
Mr. Hanson was on, and that was the roads committee and the travel advisory committee. And I've talked with Jesse about, I was once on the committee, I would very much like to go back on the road committee and the travel advisory committee. If the board will have me, I know that the committees want me, right, Jesse? He asked me, so I think. So it's not on this list.
No, I was
but-
gonna bring it up tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up.
Okay,
Okay.
absolutely.
I make a motion to put Mr. Wickens on the roads.
Unless somebody else wants it.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Jesse, let me know when the next meeting is, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
What about the, did you want to be on the traffic advisory?
Yes,
committee as
yeah,
well?
both of them.
So the motion was for both?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't get out of my mouth before Cody.
That's okay.
It's okay, just wanted to confirm.
All right,
Awesome.
anything for old business? Anything for new business? I'll just share one little thing real quick. I did a ride along with Officer Brad Jofoy a couple Saturdays ago. I know I would highly recommend, I know Don, you rode with
Years ago.
Chief Daigle years ago.
Nowadays.
It was, I gotta say, one of the most interesting things was doing the moving radar on Lake Street. But that was just, Officer Jofoy was driving, car was coming the opposite way, and right there in the middle of the dash, you just see the speed limit, and, he gave me his little rundown of how he operates. I didn't impede his operation, and we were very effective.
So we made our quota for the day.
So I highly recommend if anybody wants to ride, reach out to Chief. It is definitely, I only rode for 4 hours and we did traffic enforcement. And then as we were coming up from the south end of town, going towards Center Street, right in the middle of South Main Street is a car with a tire off. Right in the middle of the road. Guy's tire literally fell off his car. And then we went to the south side and did more traffic enforcement. There is one thing that Officer Chopoy brought to my attention, which I never noticed, which we're Woonsocket Public Transportation, it's a bus stop at Stop and Shop. That does create some work for our police department. Yes,
Know that.
so that might be
Why
something
would they be coming into Bellingham?
there is a bus that goes right to, it comes up and stops right at the H&R Block. Right there in South Bellingham at the Stop and Shop Plaza.
Well, why not? Why not bring them?
Well, I'm just surprised.
I was wondering what kind of
You're
issues
coming
it
in,
causes.
you gotta go through Blackstone now,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
And then come into
Well,
Bellingham.
it comes up from let's say it comes up from where Unibank is, and I think that's,
There's a big T there.
yeah. So it
Amazing.
does create a little business, so.
It's busy, but does it create problems?
That would be something we would need to talk to the chief about. But he just, Chuck just pointed out to me and said, hey, were you aware of this? And I was like, I was not.
And none of us, well, I was.
I don't know if Dennis, you were.
No, but they wouldn't necessarily need permission.
Well, I mean, I see Medway over at, Market Basket
Okay.
on Tuesdays, when it's Senior Citizens Day, I see that a lot.
Okay.
So,
Well, yeah, but those are the senior citizen buses. That's not a bus.
well, I don't know what kind of bus.
It was a public transportation.
That might work there, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe employment issue.
Yeah. Just interesting to see, but, anybody wants to ride, I recommend just reaching out to chief and setting it up. You see things from a very different point of view. So that's all I got. Yeah.
Are we going into executive session?
We are not.
We are not.
Town administrator, you have any?
Just a couple of quick things. You've got the Bank of America lease. And that's for that Bank of America in South Bellingham. If you recall, we lost the lease, the one in the town common. This one's renewed 75% increase. It is land that the town acquired when we did that roadway improvement at Crooks Corner. So we purchased the bank with the understanding that we would lease back to them, put a kiosk in, and that saved us the taking expenses that would have been associated if we had to widen that intersection. It would have been very expensive to take the property that was there. So it worked out well for us. It's been there since I think 2010. It's a 5-year renewal, and as I say, they increased we went back and forth on the rent, knowing what we were getting here. And we came up with a fairly substantial increase, so I'd recommend that we continue to lease that property as it is now, and it is pretty popular
Yeah, it is.
ATM.
Yeah, you just need a motion.
Just need a motion.
Motion to extend the lease to Bank of America as presented.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you. And just one other big, shred day Saturday went extremely well, except the vendor left an hour early.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we
yes.
did receive, well, there were only we did receive a couple of calls. And we did accommodate one woman this afternoon who was very happy to come in and use our shredder. We have a fairly substantial shredder, and we straightened it out with the hauler, but unfortunately it's it's a little late now. They apologize for the mix up on that. And we have one other individual who reached out. So if anyone does reach out, we've got a good sized shredder downstairs, and we can certainly accommodate. That's all that I had. Yep.
Very. I have a motion to adjourn.
To executive session.
No, the executive session, we were gonna get an update from Rick Holland, KP Law, but he did not have a resolution on the matter that he wanted to talk about.
I just saw it on this one.
Yeah.
Your final action is going to be shred day. It's the last word that I have.
Wow.
It's shred
Hey, the
day.
very first shred day, you were there for it, 2019 anniversary. That year, we didn't think it was gonna be much of one, and we worked our butts off.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Dennis, thank you.
Dennis, thank you. We will.